9 wastes analysis is one of the main tools which we are using on internal factors evaluations to any of the organizations. The 9 wastes, as per Japanese definition within lean manufacturing science, they are talking about 9 wastes which might be lead to lose of some of the resources of the organization. When we are talking about the 9 wastes, we will find them it started with defects. Defects mean quality or lose of quality of the products. That's mean this a product which is not acceptable by my customers and have some defects. So what you will do with defects? Either you will lose it as overall, then you are lost the raw materials and the time of the operators and the process, or you will make rework and at the time you will lose the time of the operators and the extra raw materials which you are used to treat the defects. Number 2, overproduction. Overproduction means you are produce more than the requirements of your customers, which it means you will put it on your stores. You don't know you will sell it or not. If you are not sell it, you will lose the costs of the operation and the costs of raw materials. But if you sell it, you will sell it late and you lose the value of these materials, and you might be sell it with lower price. Number 3 is waiting. Waiting means I'm stay and wait your product or your outcome. So the more waiting, the more lose of your customer. We can give example. Yes. If you are go to any restaurant and you are called for a lunch or called for a dinner, what will happen if you are wait for 2 or 3 hours waiting your meal? You will leave for sure. You will not stay more than that time. So the more waiting, the more losing of your customers. Number 4 is non-utilized talents. That is mean some skills are not used, or unskilled people are on positions they cannot fill it. So for example, if I have a managers who are unskilled or these people don't have the skills of leadership, what will happen? You will have a wrong decision making or a correct decision making at the wrong time, and on both of them you will lose. Or you will have some people who have some skills and you are not consuming these skills within your organization. What will happen? This is you will have 2 consequences. Number 1, people will not be satisfied because he have some skills is not used. Number 2, you lose these skills. The waste number 5 is the transportation. And Japanese define transportations by transfer or movement of the materials. So it's not related to the people, it's related to the material. We are transfer the material or move the material, either raw materials or end product, from one point to another point. We should look about our transportation. Do we are use the shortest way? This is if we are use more than that, that means this is a loss and wastes. One of the most important wastes is inventory, and this is number 6, which one of the hidden costs or cost loss to the organization. If I have a store and I'm storing extra raw material and the extra products on these stores, what will happen? Overproduction, we are talking about it. But if I have an extra raw material, after some time, this raw material will expire because all of the materials have expiring date. If I cannot process it and convert it to end product, I will lose the cost of these raw materials. So if I convert it to a production, it will become an overproduction and I will store it. But there is one more cost which is hidden also on inventory: the cost of renting the stores and inventories. We will go to the 7 point, or point number 7 is the motion. We are talking about the movement of the materials, but now we are start to talk about movement of people. We should look about our people. How is the movement? Do they are move extra than what we are required? Then we will have extra motion. We are lose the time of this movement. And this is one of the hidden wastes within the 9 wastes. Extra process. What is the meaning of extra process? It's an process not add any value either for the customer or for the product. This is what we consider extra process. Can you give an example? Yes. Like when we have a set of approvals, just only for routine or bureaucratics, but it's not add any value to the process itself. So we are need to minimize it. The last one is the resistance of a change. Resistant to change. This is one of the wastes now. Why? Because if the person who have some resistance to some changes within the organization keep silent, this is no problem. But if he start to spread out the negative power and the negative emotions to all of the people around him, what will happen? We will lose the concentration of the people and we will have less productivity. This is the 9 wastes as per the Japanese definition.